Do you want to create custom functions in Excel without writing any code? Well, this is something we're going to learn in this video. We're going to learn about a function that is so powerful and allows you to create custom functions to make your calculations simple. So make sure to watch this video till the end and do not forget to download a free ebook at the end of this video. So let's get started. Now let me quickly enter the LAMBDA function here. And in the LAMBDA function, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a parameter. So when you enter the LAMBDA function, you can see it has only one argument to define, that is parameter or calculation. So first I'll specify the parameter and then I'll specify a calculation. So the first parameter is X and the second parameter is Y. Now I have two parameters and now I'm going to use these two parameters in a calculation. So I'm defining that X plus Y. So now whenever you enter value for X and then value for Y, it will perform a calculation of adding X and Y. So my function is complete. I have closed my function, but now I'm going to enter the values for X and Y. So I'll start one more bracket. I'll specify 5 for X and 10 for Y. And again, I'm going to close my brackets and hit enter. Yes. So I have the result, that is 15. 5 plus 10 equals to 15. Now this is a very simple way or very simple example to understand how a LAMBDA function actually works. All right, so here's the formula that we have just used, and let me quickly explain to you how this formula actually works. So first of all, we have this parameter, as I have already explained, and then we have this parameter Y. So X and Y are the two parameters, and then we have this calculation, and then we have the actual value. So what is happening here, when you define 5 for X, it goes to the parameter X in the main formula, and when you define 10, which is for Y, it goes to the parameter into the main formula. And then from these parameters, the calculation takes the value, and as we have the calculation X plus Y, and then we have here the result. So your values goes into the parameters, and then with the parameters, you have the calculation, and with the calculation, the end result is 5 plus 10. So this is how LAMBDA works. So make sure to be with me, because in the next example, I'm going to show you the actual use of LAMBDA function that you can use in your worksheets to save a lot of time and a lot of effort. So make sure to watch the next example. Now here in this example, I have old value and I have new value, and I want to calculate the percentage change between the old one and the new one. And a simple formula for this would be the new minus the old and then dividing by the old value. So when I hit enter, it returns 40%. That means the 40% is the change from old to new. But now I'm going to use LAMBDA function and create a custom function to calculate this percentage change. So what I'll do, I'll go to my formulas tab, click on name manager, and from here I'm going to click on new. And here I need to enter the name, e_change, scope is workbook, and here I'm going to enter my LAMBDA function. Now the LAMBDA function, again, I'm going to specify the parameter and then a calculation. So parameter would be old and new. These are the two parameters. And the calculation would be new minus old, and then the bracket closed, divided by old. And let me close this function here. Back, and here now I'm going to enter the p change function that I have just write using the LAMBDA function. So I'll say p change. The first argument, the first parameter is the old one. You can see here I have these two parameters, the old and the new. So the old one is this 100 and the new one is 140. And the moment I close this function and hit enter, I get 40% in the result. That is the percentage change between new and old. So this is the one of the easiest example to understand how LAMBDA is going to help you to create custom functions in Excel without writing a VBA code or any other thing. All right. So in this example, I have a formula that is a nested if formula and gives me grade based on the score. So these are the brackets where I get a particular grade based on the bracket of the score. So if score lies in this bracket, I get a particular grade. Now I'm going to write the same formula, but I'm going to use LAMBDA and I want to convert it into a custom function. So what I'll do, first of all, I'll copy this formula from here And now I'm going to go to the cell D2, and here I'm going to enter the lambda function. Now in the lambda function, as you know, first of all, I need to enter a parameter. So I'll name my parameter score. So let me just type it again. And after that, I need to enter my calculation. So my calculation is exactly same. That's the nested if formula. And here, instead of referring to the cell B2 again and again, I'm going to change it with the parameter. And here also. Now my lambda function is complete, and I'm going to enter value for the parameter. So I'll enter one more bracket, and again, I'm going to refer to the cell B2 where I have the value that I want to put in the parameter, and then the calculation will happen. And let me hit enter to see what I'm going to get in the result. So you can see I get the same result that I got from the nested if formula, because the calculation is same. The entire formula within the lambda function is exactly same. But this is not something that I want. What I want here to have a custom function. I want the calculation to be done with the nested if formula, but I want it a very clear, simple custom function. So what I'll do, I'll copy it from here, the only lambda part, not the reference to the cell B2. And I'm going to go to my formulas, and then again, and in the name manager, I'm going to click on new, give a name, get grades. And in the refers to, I'm going to paste my lambda function, the entire lambda formula. And now I'm going to click OK. Back. And now I'm going to enter my new custom function, that is get grades. And you can see here again, this is my argument here. That's the parameter in the lambda function. And I'm going to select the score, that is cell B2, close the function. And here I have my result, that is the grade A. And let me just drag this formula downwards. And here I have my custom function that exactly work in the same way, but the calculation is in the backend, and my actual custom function is pretty clean and simple.